Feliz jueves, ¿cómo están? Here we're going to go over the practice test from yesterday. Tomorrow we are going to be doing an assessment just to see how we're doing on the subjunctive. But for today we'll go over this, do a listening activity, and we'll call it a day. So there's not going to be any listening on the test. Don't worry about that section. It's just a little too hard to administer at this point. We haven't decided to do that. So what we will have is you'll have a reading. On this reading, a couple of people had some questions about 2 and 3. Number 2, his innovations, we're talking about Rodolfo de Granada. His innovations inspired new techniques of art. That can be found here. His innovations in the field of painting helped the development of art during more than a century. Number 3, a lot of people also got this wrong. The inspiration was, to him, you can find it here, his love for learning and for investigating inspired him. That's where that inspiro comes from. So it's actually his love for research that inspired everything that he was able to do. For this section, the errors are pretty consistent, meaning that I had some people that just would do subjunctive down the left-hand side here when we talked about how the principal clause, the first part of the sentence, isn't subjunctive. Subjunctive is something that's triggered based on 3 things after. So if you think of it this way, the first part is always going to be the indicative. Remember, when I say indicative, that doesn't mean regular, but it is the tense that you've been studying for however many years. So yo pido is the indicative, that you, que tú respetes. I ask that you respect your mom. Number 2, you want, quieres. Again, no flipped ending. You want me to not be vain, or you want that I am not vain. So if you look down the left-hand side, we just have not flipped ending. So usted espera, nosotros deseamos, yo quiero, la madre prohíbe. This prohíbe actually does need an accent, but don't worry about that so much. Ernesto sugiere, big issue here. The conjugation of sugerir is an E to IE stem changer in the boot. So if you looked, for example, I believe there's one down here. Yeah, the children, they suggest is sugieren. You can see that stem change again. You advise, my mom hopes, and they insist. So looking at our subjunctive conjugations, you hope that he doesn't have a shy behavior, tenga. We wish that the boy would pay attention. Press star, flipped ending over here. I want you to come to class. Again, subjunctive triggered here. My mom prohibits that, the mother prohibits the children from leaving the house. Sounds a little too familiar right now. Ha ha. Ernesto suggests that Elena works each day. You advise that I don't go to the movie theater with Juan. My mom hopes that my sister makes the bed, and they insist that I dance with them. So again, you can see in my instructions, first in the indicative and then later in the subjunctive is what's going to get you the answers that you need. So more than anything, I would say it wasn't the conjugating that was giving people problems, meaning the forms. It was where do you put subjunctive, where do you put indicative? Remember, indicative down the left side, subjunctive down the right. This section a little different. You either have the subjunctive or the infinitive. So you only have 2 choices here. You're not going to use the indicative ever. The subjunctive or the infinitive. Remember, we only use the infinitive when there is not a satisfaction of the subjunctive, which is 2 different subjects, the word que, and a weirdo expression. So, mando que tú. Mandar means to order. I order that you return home to help me. We have que, a change in subject. This is the yo form. Mandar is a part of weirdo, so we have subjunctive. Ojalá, like we talked about, just naturally triggers subjunctive. Don't even have to think about that one too much. Hopefully he is an honest person, is what that says. You ask that we leave here now. Nos pides que nosotros. Here we have espero, which is a weirdo expression, but we don't have the word que, we don't have a new subject, so this is just saying, I hope I arrive on time, or I hope to arrive on time. I don't want the Cubs to win. The Cubs are would be like an ellos, like I don't want they, or that they win another World Series. They wish they were programmers in California. They wish to be is another way to translate it, because obviously it's not conjugated, but sometimes in English we conjugate it. You insist that we don't have a solution. Subjunctive triggered, K, two different subjects. You don't need me to help you, is a question. You don't need my help, essentially. We have tú, no necesitas, que yo, change in subject. The issue that people were having here is they thought it was the tú form because of this te. Remember, yo is there, and that trumps the te. Quiero saber hablar otro idioma. Here we have 3 verbs in a row, so we only conjugate the first one. So I want to know to speak another language, or I want to know how to speak another language. And then the children suggest that I bring something to eat or to play, and traiga is our form there. So again, 30 questions, and we're going to be assessing your progress. If you can do this well, you're in great shape. We'll do the listening practice, the Duolingos today, and then the assessment tomorrow, and we'll touch base after the weekend. Thanks so much. Have a great day.